It's incredible how fast the AI landscape is evolving. One minute you're hearing about a new chatbot,
Yeah,
the next, it feels like we're on the cusp of something, well, truly transformative.
it really does.
And for anyone trying to stay informed, without getting lost in the daily deluge of news, it can be a real challenge to figure out what's genuinely significant.
That's absolutely right. The sheer volume, it can be overwhelming. It makes it difficult to discern the signal from the noise, really.
Well, that's exactly why we wanted to focus today on a particularly interesting development. This came about early 2025, the emergence of Synaptic AI Lab.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Kolkata, India.
Right.
Synaptic AI Lab, founded by Abhijit Sarkar.
Yeah.
He's a very prolific thinker in the AI space.
Definitely.
And his work really lays the foundation for the lab's unique approach.
Prolific is almost an understatement, but this isn't just another tech company chasing the latest trends, is it?
No, not at all.
From what I understand, Sarkar envisioned it more as a kind of think tank focused on what they call responsible superintelligence.
And that's a key differentiator right there.
Mm-hmm.
In a field often driven just by the pursuit of, greater capabilities,
Mm-hmm.
Synaptic AI Lab has explicitly centered its mission around the ethical considerations, the long-term societal impact of advanced AI.
Exactly. So our goal today is to really understand what makes Synaptic AI Lab stand out. What are the core ideas driving them? What are their big plans for the future?
Yeah.
And fundamentally, to explore this notion, they champion that AI development isn't just some inevitable technological wave,
Right.
but a very deliberate project shaped by human choices.
Let's dive in.
Okay. So the origin of Synaptic AI Lab seems deeply connected to its founder, Abhijit Sarkar, and, well, his extensive writing on AI.
Indeed. Sarkar's body of work, it really provides the intellectual grounding for the lab.
Yeah.
Between 2024 and early 2025, he authored a significant number of books covering a really wide spectrum of AI topics, everything from foundational concepts to, advanced technical analyses and even philosophical explorations of AI consciousness.
It almost feels like his writing paved the way for this organization. You have titles like The A to Z of AI for newcomers,
Right.
all the way to Duck Learning Dynamics for the real tech folks, and even Synthesized Minds, the evolution of AI consciousness, tackling those huge fundamental questions.
What's fascinating is Sarkar's consistent thread through all of it.
Yeah.
He doesn't separate the technical aspects of AI from their human and societal implications.
That's interesting.
He continually emphasizes that our choices in developing AI technology are inherently ethical ones. This core idea that technical decisions are ethical decisions really underpins Synaptic AI Lab's philosophy.
That's a powerful concept. And then, February 2025, he takes this extensive body of thought and establishes this institution in Kolkata. It's not just a company.
No.
It's designed as this hybrid part research hub, part business venture, and part policy think tank.
That hybrid structure is very intentional. Sarkar recognized that responsible AI development requires a multifaceted strategy. You need diverse expertise, tackling the challenges from multiple angles simultaneously.
And the timing of this launch is also interesting, right? By early 2025, AI was getting significantly more advanced, moving beyond just specific tasks towards something more like general intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
The central question was shifting from whether AI would change society to, well, how and who would guide that change?
Precisely. Synaptic AI Lab positioned itself as an institution aiming to actively guide that transformation, not just participate in it.
And the choice of Kolkata as its base. That's also quite significant.
Absolutely. Kolkata, not the typical Silicon Valley location.
Right.
It sounds like this decision to be based in India was both strategic and a statement in itself.
How so?
Well, by 2025, India had become a pretty significant player in the AI field with a large pool of talent.
Yeah.
However, much of that development was often focused on serving, let's say, Western priorities. Kolkata, with its rich intellectual history, offered a unique setting for Sarkar's vision.
A vision focused on what?
A vision of AI development prioritizing human well-being alongside technological progress.
It's like he intentionally set up shop in a place with a different intellectual and cultural background
Exactly.
to approach AI development with maybe a fresh perspective. He even coined this term, the Great Integration, aiming to ensure AI truly enhances human flourishing.
Yes, and establishing Synaptic AI Lab in Kolkata also signaled a potential shift in the global landscape of AI innovation. moving towards a more distributed, more culturally diverse environment where the Global South plays a more active role in shaping AI's future.
And the name itself, Synaptic AI Lab, that's not just random, is it? It connects directly to their core philosophy.
Not at all. It draws inspiration from neuroscience, where synapses are the connections between nerve cells that allow complex signals to travel.
Yeah.
Sarkar uses this as a metaphor to highlight that the critical aspect of AI development isn't just about individual model capabilities, but about the connections between these models and the human systems they interact with.
So it's about AI as a connector, as a way to augment human abilities and strengthen our institutions, rather than acting as some isolated, potentially disruptive force.
Precisely. This led to what they termed the synaptic principle.
Right.
The synaptic principle emphasizes AI's highest purpose as a connective tissue, something that enhances human capabilities, bridges cultural divides, and strengthens human institutions.
So think of it like
this. Instead of AI being a standalone brain, they see it as the vital connections between brains, both human and artificial, designed to make the entire system smarter, more collaborative.
that philosophy really distinguishes Synaptic AI Lab from, well, both the extreme techno-optimists and the outright pessimists, doesn't it?
It does. They're forging a middle path, acknowledging AI's potential while emphasizing the necessity of human guidance grounded in ethical values.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Their business model. It's not your typical Silicon Valley approach.
No, it's described as this tripod structure, balancing commercial products and services, research partnerships and grants, and then knowledge dissemination and education.
It's almost like they're built on these three equally important pillars.
That's a perfect way to visualize it. This diversified approach isn't just about generating revenue, though. It reflects Sarkar's belief that sustainable, responsible AI development requires this integration across different sectors.
How so?
Well, by operating as a commercial entity, a research institution, and an educational platform simultaneously, they create inherent checks and balances.
Right. So the commercial side, that makes up the largest portion of their revenue, around 45%. And this is where their actual AI products and services come into play.
Categorized as cognitive enhancement systems, alignment verification infrastructure, and environmental intelligence systems.
Okay, let's start with the cognitive enhancement systems, or CES.
These are designed to augment human cognitive abilities, not replace them. Sarkar's 2025 book, Cortex Link, AI and the Human Brain Connectivity, seems to have provided the foundational ideas here.
And transparency is key.
A key aspect is transparency, yes, allowing users to understand the AI's reasoning and maintain control over decision-making.
Right, and they have specific products under this, like Synaptic Advisor for professionals in healthcare and law, Cognitive Workbench for team collaboration, and Insight Amplifier for research. It sounds like the focus is on empowering experts.
Precisely. Synaptic Advisor, for example, provides evidence-based recommendations, but explains its reasoning using language specific to that field. That builds trust and understanding.
Makes sense.
Cognitive Workbench helps teams identify connections and gaps in their collective thinking, and Insight Amplifier assists researchers in exploring new areas of knowledge by mapping how different concepts relate.
Then there's the Alignment Verification Infrastructure, AVI. This feels incredibly important given the increasing focus on AI safety and accountability.
Oh, definitely. It's about ensuring AI systems behave in accordance with our values and objectives. As AI becomes more autonomous, verifying that it's acting as intended becomes absolutely crucial.
So what tools do they offer?
Synaptic AI Lab developed tools like Value Tracer to monitor AI decisions against established guidelines, Outcome Auditor to assess the real-world effects of AI deployments, and Bias Detector to identify and reduce biases in AI systems. These tools address the growing need for AI accountability.
And the final commercial pillar is Environmental Intelligence Systems, EIS. This connects AI with addressing some of the planet's biggest challenges.
Right. Building on ideas from Sarkar's book, GeoAI, and its role in planetary health.
What's compelling here?
It's the application of AI to environmental monitoring, resource management, and sustainable development. Products like Ecosystem Monitor track the health of natural habitats. Climate Resilient Planner helps urban planners prepare for climate change impacts. And Resource Optimizer assists industries in minimizing their environmental footprint.
So, across all these commercial endeavors, the emphasis seems to be on building AI that's not just powerful, but also transparent, beneficial for both humanity and the environment.
That's the goal.
Now, the second pillar of their business model is research partnerships and grants, making up about 30% of their revenue.
This research arm is vital. It operates at the intersection of fundamental AI science and practical applications, often with a longer-term perspective than purely commercial R&D.
And they get funding from?
They secure funding through public grants, industry collaborations, and partnerships with philanthropic organizations. This allows them to investigate more speculative and fundamental questions about AI.
It sounds like this research not only advances the field, but also feeds back into their commercial products and strengthens their overall expertise and credibility.
Exactly. And the final 25% of their revenue comes from knowledge dissemination and education. This pillar underscores Synaptic AI Lab's commitment to broadly sharing AI knowledge. This includes professional training programs, advisory services for governments and policymakers, and initiatives to enhance public understanding.
Sarkar's book, Classroom 2.0, Integrating AI into Modern Education, probably informs their educational programs.
Likely, yes.
So they're not just building AI, they're also actively shaping the conversation around it, educating professionals, advising governments, even engaging the general public.
It creates this really interesting cycle where knowledge informs development and real-world applications generate new knowledge.
And the real innovation in Synaptic AI Lab's business model lies in these synergies across sectors, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Research informs products. Products generate data for further research, and educational programs both disseminate knowledge and potentially attract talent. It's this integrated approach that makes them a unique player in the AI landscape.
So what truly sets apart Synaptic AI Lab's actual AI products and services? It's not just about the technical capability, is it?
You're right. What's noteworthy is their deliberate integration of ethical considerations right into the design of their systems.
How do they do that?
They've developed what they call a values-by-design methodology. This draws on Sarkar's work exploring AI consciousness and its influence on human behavior. It's a systematic approach that translates ethical principles into concrete technical specifications.
So it's like they're proactively building in these ethical guardrails from the very beginning rather than, trying to tack them on later?
Exactly. This methodology guides development across their entire product line. They're aiming for systems that are not only functional, but also preserve human agency, protect privacy, minimize resource use, and remain accountable.
Let's take a closer look at some of these core product categories again, starting with those cognitive enhancement systems. Synaptic Advisor, for instance, used in hospitals and legal practices. It's not just giving recommendations, it's described as maintaining cooperative intelligence. What does that mean?
What cooperative intelligence means here is the system's ability to adapt its operation to the specific cognitive strengths and weaknesses of individual users.
Okay, give me an example.
So in a hospital setting, Synaptic Advisor might offer a research-focused physician detailed literature reviews while providing, say, intuitive visualizations to someone who learns best visually. It actually learns from its interactions with each user.
That's incredibly personalized. And the technical architecture sounds quite advanced, understanding info from different sources, dynamically explaining its reasoning, even showing uncertainty levels.
Absolutely. It's about providing the right kind of information in the right way to support human decision-making, rather than trying to replace it with some kind of black box solution.
And then you have Cognitive Workbench, aimed at boosting collective intelligence within teams.
Right. This seems particularly useful for tackling complex problems in research or strategic planning.
How does it work?
It identifies where ideas overlap, flags contradictions, and can even spot gaps in a team's collective knowledge base.
And does it help?
Early results from its use showed significant improvements in problem-solving accuracy and innovation, particularly in teams working across different disciplines, where communication can sometimes be a challenge. It helps teams see their thinking more clearly, understand the bigger picture.
And Insight Amplifier, focusing on knowledge exploration. This sounds like a powerful tool for researchers venturing into new areas.
It is. It helps users navigate unfamiliar intellectual landscapes by mapping how different concepts relate. It can even suggest new connections between seemingly unrelated fields through cross-domain translation and the use of analogies.
So it helps bridge disciplines.
Exactly. Early users found it especially helpful for interdisciplinary research, helping specialists connect their expertise with other domains.
Okay, moving on to the alignment verification infrastructure. Value Tracer sounds like a crucial tool for organizations using autonomous AI systems.
It is. It provides continuous monitoring of AI behavior against clearly defined ethical frameworks. Organizations can specify their values, like fairness or transparency, And Value Tracer observes AI decisions, identifying potential deviations.
Does it explain why there was a deviation?
It even creates hypothetical scenarios to understand the context of those deviations, which is pretty sophisticated.
An outcome auditor takes a broader view, assessing the real-world impact of AI systems. Not just behavior, but consequences.
Right. It combines data from various sources, quantitative data, qualitative feedback from affected groups, long-term tracking to create comprehensive impact assessments. It analyzes how impacts are distributed across different populations, too.
So you get a much more complete understanding of an AI system's societal footprint.
Exactly.
Then there's Bias Detector, aiming to address the widespread issue of bias in AI systems throughout the entire development process.
And unlike simpler tools that might only look at training data, Bias Detector analyzes data, model design, and even the context in which the AI is used to identify and reduce unintended biases.
So a multi-layered approach.
Yes, which leads to more fair and equitable AI systems, especially critical in sensitive areas like hiring or lending.
Finally, the environmental intelligence systems. Ecosystem Monitor sounds like it could significantly improve conservation efforts.
It integrates satellite imagery, sensor networks, even traditional ecological knowledge to provide a real-time understanding of ecosystem health across different scales. It helps conservation organizations detect changes early and implement more targeted interventions.
And Climate Resilient Planner is tackling the urgent challenge of adapting urban areas to climate change.
Yeah, it combines climate science, engineering knowledge, economic modeling, all to provide localized climate projections, assess infrastructure vulnerability, and evaluate different adaptation strategies. Helps urban planners make much more informed decisions about building resilience.
And Resource Optimizer is focused on minimizing the environmental impact of industrial processes.
It models entire production systems to identify opportunities for efficiency, provides real-time recommendations for adjustments, and even helps integrate circular economy principles by finding ways to reuse waste materials.
So, beyond these commercial offerings, Synaptic AI Lab also has the significant research division exploring the cutting edge of AI.
Absolutely. Their research goes beyond immediate product development, delving into fundamental questions about AI capabilities and societal implications.
Like what?
Notable areas include making deep learning more understandable, explainable AI, developing ways for humans and AI to work together, effectively cooperative AI, and creating frameworks for AI governance.
They're working on making deep learning less of a black box then, developing methods to understand how these complex systems arrive at their decisions.
Yes, through techniques like analyzing neuron activations, visualizing decision pathways, attributing importance to features, they're making the reasoning processes of deep learning models more transparent and understandable, which, as you can imagine, has significant implications for building trust and ensuring accountability.
Definitely. And their work on cooperative AI architectures is exploring how humans and AI can collaborate most effectively, really focusing on that synergy rather than just automation.
They're identifying tasks where humans and AI have complementary strengths and designing interfaces that maximize that synergy, leading to, well, more powerful collaborations.
And finally, their research into AI governance framework seems crucial for navigating the societal challenges of advanced AI.
Extremely crucial. This involves exploring how different stakeholders, governments, industry, the public, can oversee AI development, developing technical methods to ensure compliance with regulations, and even considering how global AI governance could be coordinated to prevent a fragmented, potentially dangerous landscape.
So what does this all mean? It sounds like Synaptic AI Lab isn't just developing AI tools, they're really focused on shaping the future of AI development itself.
That seems to be the core mission.
It does. And interestingly, alongside all these advanced technological endeavors, one of Synaptic AI Lab's core products is something much more traditional: books.
That's right. Founder Abhijit Sarkar's extensive collection of published works on AI serves as a cornerstone of their efforts to share knowledge. These books cover a vast range of topics, from basic concepts to advanced technical and philosophical discussions aimed at a wide audience.
Titles like The Psychology of AI, Geo-AI and Its Role in Planetary Health, The AI Revolution, Understanding AI in Daily Life, It's a really comprehensive body of work, isn't it? Reflects that multidisciplinary approach.
Yeah, and these books aren't just dry academic texts. They're written in an accessible style and distributed globally in various formats to maximize their reach. They cover everything from the technical details of AI, like GPTs and LLMs, to the really important societal implications.
It sounds like these publications are key to establishing Sarkar and Synaptic AI Lab as thought leaders in the field, really driving the conversation around responsible AI development.
Absolutely. And beyond the books, they also produce a lot of free content articles, blog posts, even other audio programs fostering a community of AI enthusiasts and keeping the dialogue going. Their online activities suggest future initiatives focused on practical AI skills, further demonstrating that commitment to education.
So it's this combination of cutting-edge research, practical applications, and a really strong emphasis on education and public understanding that defines Synaptic AI Lab. By the end of their first year, their revenue distribution reflects this balanced model, commercial products leading, followed by research grants, then knowledge sharing.
And their geographic reach is also notable. A strong presence in Asia, particularly India and Southeast Asia, but also expanding into Europe and North America. Their client base is equally diverse: corporations, government agencies, research institutions, nonprofits, educational organizations.
It seems like they've intentionally built a resilient and multifaceted organization, even in their funding approach, right? Prioritizing the founder's long-term vision over potentially risky, rapid growth.
Yes, they've implemented specific share structures and made formal commitments to their core mission. It's designed to ensure their focus on responsible AI development remains central to their operations, even as they grow. Their investors have also apparently agreed to longer-term investment horizons, reflecting a patient capital approach.
Looking ahead, their strategic plan for 2025 to 2030 is guided by some really important principles, like developing technology and considering its impact simultaneously.
Right, not as separate steps.
And ensuring AI benefits are shared globally.
Their strategy for expanding into different markets is systematic too, building their presence in various regions and sectors step by step. They also have clear plans for how their product lines will evolve, continuously improving capabilities and addressing emerging needs.
And their research agenda is also set to evolve, moving from foundational work towards more integrated questions.
Exactly. And even exploring the longer-term implications of more advanced forms of artificial intelligence.
And to support all this, they have a thoughtful plan for how their organization will develop, building a strong internal culture, distributing leadership, becoming a true learning organization.
Strategic partnerships across academia, industry, and civil society are also a key part of their plan.
Their financial forecasts show significant growth, but importantly, they plan to consistently reinvest a substantial portion of their revenue back into research. That really highlights their long-term commitment to responsible innovation.
It does. And they've even considered potential challenges like increased competition, technical limitations, and has strategies in place to address them.
That proactive approach to identifying and addressing potential hurdles is a sign of careful planning, wouldn't you say? Reflects Sarkar's emphasis on thoughtful consideration of the future.
I think so. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, their long-term vision extends well beyond the initial 5 years. They seem to be aiming to transform Synaptic AI Lab from just a provider of AI tools into a broader platform for responsible AI development.
How would that work?
By the 2030s, they envision creating a system of tools and standards, infrastructure for development, even platforms for governance, to enable other organizations to build and deploy AI responsibly.
So enabling others.
This move towards platform development anticipates the increasing need for clear guidelines and best practices in AI and the growing demand for responsible approaches. Their research interests for that period delve into even more fundamental questions: safety of highly advanced AI, the coevolution of humans and AI, distributed intelligence systems.
And their institutional vision for 2035 is quite ambitious, aiming to become a central hub with open collaboration, shared governance, and a commitment to sharing intellectual property for the greater good.
It reflects a fundamental shift from a traditional company structure towards a more collaborative, interconnected model, recognizing that the challenges of advanced AI really require collective effort.
Looking even further out to 2050, their vision enters the realm of what they call structured speculation, particularly around the potential emergence of very advanced AI, maybe even superintelligence.
Right. Sarkar's The Integration Path, 2050 Horizon, outlines a possible future where very advanced AI isn't necessarily a single entity but a distributed network, with ongoing human involvement and appreciation for diverse values, all within these cognitive ecosystems.
It's a nuanced perspective, isn't it? Tries to understand the potential of very advanced AI without resorting to overly optimistic or, doomsday scenarios, really focusing on how to maintain control and ensure alignment with human values.
Exactly. They even consider how this might transform areas like work, governance, health, environmental stewardship.
What kind of transformations?
Their vision for 2050 proposes ideas like universal basic resources, enhanced participation in decision-making through AI tools, AI-powered preventive healthcare systems, global networks for environmental management. It's a really comprehensive and thought-provoking look at a potential future shaped by AI.
And at the very furthest horizon, they touch upon the concept of meta-intelligence, the potential for AI to transform the very nature of intelligence itself, raising profound questions about the long-term relationship between humans and machines.
Which acknowledges the potentially unpredictable nature of advanced AI development, emphasizing the need for both ambition and caution as we explore the unknown.
This raises an important question about Synaptic AI Lab's position within the wider AI landscape. How do they compare to other organizations in this field?
Well, they occupy a pretty distinct space, it seems. Unlike, say, large technology companies primarily driven by profit or specialized research labs focused purely on scientific advancement, Synaptic has this combined model.
Their tripod structure, right, balancing commercial activities, research, and education. That's quite unique.
It is. And their location and cultural context in Kolkata offer a different viewpoint on AI development compared to organizations in more traditional AI centers like the US or China.
Their focus on integration to deliberately weaving ethical considerations into their technical development also sets them apart. Many organizations still treat these as separate areas, don't they?
They often do. And their long-term vision, stretching out 25 years or more, is much further than what you typically see in the tech industry, which often focuses on the next quarter or year.
So these characteristics give them several potential advantages, like building public trust.
Building public trust, attracting talent, motivated by making a difference, proactively adapting to evolving regulations, and maybe developing solutions relevant to a more diverse global market.
However, they also face potential challenges, like having fewer resources compared to the big tech giants.
Definitely. Fewer resources, the possibility that their integrated complexity leads to higher costs, and the risk of larger organizations just adopting their responsible AI messaging without genuine commitment sort of ethics washing.
Yeah, that's a real risk.
Sarkar seems to be very aware of these potential vulnerabilities, though, emphasizing the need for transparency and genuine dedication to their core principles to navigate these challenges effectively.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, I think Synaptic AI Lab's story really highlights that the development of advanced AI isn't just about creating more powerful algorithms. It's fundamentally about the choices we make.
The values we prioritize.
The values we prioritize and the kind of future we actually want to build.
It underscores the importance of considering the broader implications right from the very beginning of the development process and thinking long-term about the societal effects of these technologies.
Synaptic AI Lab serves as a fascinating example, maybe blueprint, of an organization trying to forge a more responsible path forward.
It really does. They're not just asking what AI can do, but what AI should do, and crucially, how we can ensure it benefits all of humanity.
And their integrated approach demonstrates that responsible AI development isn't just a matter for academic research or policy discussions alone. It requires a coordinated effort across commercial, research, and educational spheres.
So, as we conclude this deep dive into Synaptic AI Lab, let's leave you with this thought. In this rapidly changing AI world, what does responsible development truly mean to you? How do we ensure that the incredible power of artificial intelligence is used in a way that aligns with our deepest values and promotes human flourishing?
It's a question we all need to consider as this technological revolution unfolds.